we have two things which we're going to focus on. Alternate picking, and we're going to branch that off into two types of picking. One is going to be inside picking and outside picking. Don't worry, I'll explain it. And the other one will be economy picking, and pretty much what needs to happen so you can get economy picking going. I'll give you the general rules, and then I'll show you what Jason did. So, alternate picking. What we want to have is we're just going to start out with 6 notes. And we're going to use this as the basis of our explanation for alternate picking. Okay? So, we have fret 7, 9, 10 on both strings. Okay? So, to start off with, we're going to do alternate picking and focus on what is called outside picking, which means that there's going to be 2 adjacent strings and we're going to be playing on the outside of the 2. Okay? So here's how it's going to go. On this A note, we're going to start with a downstroke. So it's down, up, down, and then we're going to jump over the G string and start with an up. So it's up, down, up. So ultimately it'll be down, up, down, up, down, up. And it'll sound like this. And repetitive. Take it slow, fast. You can do it faster, great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly the same notes with our left hand, but what I want to show you is something called inside picking. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with an upstroke, and this will feel weird. So, we're going to start with an upstroke, so it's up, down, up, then we change strings to a downstroke, and up, and then down. So it'll sound like this. So, you may be thinking, this is kind of inefficient for alternate picking, for doing the inside picking. Here's an example of where it would become useful. Let's take this pattern, except we're going to descend it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a downstroke, then upstroke, then downstroke, change strings with an upstroke, downstroke, then upstroke. So we have this. Right? So all of a sudden it becomes something useful because we like to start with a downstroke. We as guitarists like to start with a downstroke. So for ascending, we like to start with a downstroke. For ascending, we start with a downstroke. For descending, we like to start with a downstroke. Don't worry, we'll get to those when we actually get to the left-hand stuff. But it's pretty much just that's the basis of alternate picking. All right, so economy picking. The whole premise of economy picking is economy and saving. It's supposed to be saving motion. In terms of alternate picking versus economy picking, the dynamic is ever so slightly different. And well, here's how it goes. When you change strings, you want to continue to pick in the same direction it's going. And generally this is easily facilitated with 3 notes per string, because you start with a down, an up, and then a down, and it's time to change strings. So we're continuing going down, so it just works out that we start with another downstroke. So it's down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So you'll notice that it goes down, up, down, down. So there's 2 downs in a row. And if you notice my right hand, it's not really moving around a whole lot. It's pretty useful. All right, economy of picking is, the whole premise behind it is economy of motion. Now, luckily for us, when we play 3 notes per string, we go down, up, down, and then if we're going to continue ascending, well, we're going to, yeah, I know, that's up. We're going to continue ascending, we're going to go down, up, down again. So there's 2 downstrokes in a row. So it's down, up, down, down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down. Now, here's where it gets interesting. It's not a downstroke like down, 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 down. Okay, there's a classical term which is called a rest stroke. And what that means is that after you play the note, you're just waiting on the next string. You're literally just waiting for the next thing to happen. So even if I'm playing this slow, so it's down, up, down, if you can see my pick, it's already on the G string waiting for that note to be played. So it's not like I'm going down, up, down, and then I wait, and then down, up, down. It should be a continuous down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay? So here's how it'll be. So it's down, up, down, down, up, down. So that's the economy picking. It'll sound like this. We'll get to the descending a little later. But otherwise, that's the premise behind economy picking. Jason did another type of picking, and this is sometimes referred to as half picking. And what this is it's a group of 2 strings with 3 notes per string each one. And there's pretty much 2 ways of doing it. One of them is legato, which is just playing it, picking once when you change strings. So that would be this. Doesn't matter if you're covering all 6 strings, you're only picking when you change strings. So that's pretty much the first aspect of it. But the thing that Jason would do is he would do this thing called half picking also. And so what he would do is he would pick the first note on one string and then legato for the rest of the string, the rest of the 3 notes. And then what he would do is he would alternate pick the next string. So it's down, up, down. Sorry, up, down, up on the next string. So it's legato, up, down, up. And you can do that completely the other way around. So you can go pick, 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 and then legato it. So that would sound like this. It's just another way of getting different dynamics. Yeah, it's just another way of getting dynamics. So far, we've covered various methods on how to codify Jason's picking. And there are general things which he did on a regular basis. There are certain things that he did not so regular basis. And Jason pretty much did what felt comfortable to him. The neat thing to do after listening to him is figure out what type of picking he's doing for each thing. And there are certain places where he would use certain types of these pickings at given times. So let's take a look at some phrases that focus on alternate picking.